Hi everyone, how are you all? My name's Leanne Sheargold and I am a healer, a channer, an alchemist, a galactic being, a starseed and a teacher, and I also have my own business called Spiritual Business Coaching, where I help women that are wanting to create their own businesses, and I help them to connect back to their passion in their heart and their joy. So today's video is all about how to start working with your Oracle cards. So how to set them up so they work automatically for you, and also how to start reading them. So I've got my two decks. Now, both of my first decks were actually Doreen Virtue. I love her Oracle cards. So these are the ones I started with, and it was probably maybe 20 years ago that I started with these as well. So I'm going to run you through the different steps to set your own cards up. Okay, so when you first get the cards out of the box and out of the pack, you need to actually take some time to put your energy into all of the cards and to clear everyone else's energy. So if you think about, the people that made it, then they went in the box and then they were posted and then they came out to you, and then a fair few people have been touching and putting their energy into your box and your Oracle cards. So you actually need to clear them first and then fill them up with your energy and then set the intention. So there's 3 steps to actually get working with your cards as well. So the very first thing that you do when you get them is actually be looking at each image. And so as you're looking at each image and you're putting them into your hand, your energy is starting to go into each card. Now, I just love when I bought this card, this Oracle deck, I should say, over 20 years ago, because I had actually been dreaming about Archangel Ariel. This is how I saw her, exactly in that image. I would dream about her night after night. She would just appear in my dreams. So when I got this deck and I took the cards out, this card was on top of the deck. And I was like totally blown away and amazed. I couldn't believe it. I finally was able to see the person that I kept dreaming about. And so I work a lot with Archangel Ariel. She's really, she's that strong, brave warrior, and that's what I needed in my life many times throughout my lifetime. Okay, so the first thing to do, let's get back to that, is you're actually taking the card off the deck and putting it into your other hand. You're taking your time to look at each picture. So you're actually putting, as you're looking at the pictures, if I had them around the right way, you're looking at the pictures, you're actually putting your energy into the pictures by actually looking at each one and moving it across from one hand to the other hand. As well, taking your time, really taking in the details of each picture. Once you have done that, then I fan them out and I place them on my heart space. And I imagine that my heart is opening and expanding, and it's filling up these cards with love. It's like a bubble of love around the cards. But again, my energy is really going into these cards. Okay. Then the next thing to do is to clear the cards. So I just do very straightforward and simple. I just do I knock on them and say clear, so clear. Then I go to the back of the cards and do the same thing, clear. Also, if you want to go further with it, you can actually put your hands in the prayer position at your heart and visualize your energy. So if you've done your Reiki or any other form of energy work, you can visualize your energy flowing through your hands and into the cards. And you just keep your hands on the cards in this position for as long as you feel is necessary. Another way that I like, and I usually do all 3 of these when I get a brand new deck of cards, I then also fan them out and I put my breath, I breathe over the top of them. So I'm really making sure all the cards have my energy from my hands, from my heart, and from my breath as well. And then I've also done the clearing. Okay, so we've done the first 2 steps. Now the third step is where you set the intention with the cards. And so again, I put them into prayer position at my heart, and I then call on my guides. So you may either do this out loud or in your head. So I'm calling on my guides that every time I pick up these cards to use for a reading for myself or for other people, that you help me with the highest and greatest good for myself or the client. So I'm setting the intention that they're ready to go every time I pick them up. Okay, then thank you. So I've now set my intention for the cards and how I want them to work. You can actually also set another intention about when you're shuffling how the cards come out. So now shuffling is very different for everyone. These cards are a pretty good size, they're not too big. So I just like to shuffle them going over the top, you know, like up like this way. But I've seen other people turn them on the side to shuffle. That just feels uncomfortable. I think my fingers space isn't quite large enough. So I just shuffling this way. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways that you can shuffle. Also, when you're asking for a card, so you might be drawn to pull the card out for you in different ways as well. So for example, now I start with asking every time I pick the cards up, so we've just done the first time, like we've set them so they're ready to go now. But then in future use, whenever I pick up the cards, I always clear them. Even if I've just been using them for myself, I still clear them. And then I actually put my hands in prayer position, and this is the words that I say. So you might like to use the same words. Can I please have a reading for my highest and greatest good? Okay, so if I'm doing a reading for everyone in my Pure Joy Sisterhood Facebook group, I say, can I please have a reading for everyone in my Pure Joy Sisterhood for their greatest and highest good of what they need to know right now. Okay, so I can sort of use the words for a group of people, or I can use the words for myself, or if I was doing just one client, can my guides please help me for the highest and greatest good of Mary Lou? And that's it. Okay, so you're now actually ready and set, and you've set the intention, you know the words on how to ask your guides. So it's really important that you actually say for the highest and greatest good, because you want to make sure you're getting messages that are for you and to help you moving forward as well. Okay, so then from there, you can start shuffling. So I'm going to ask for a card for myself. Can I please have a card for my highest and greatest good? What do I need to know right at this moment? Thank you. All right, so I'm shuffling. Now, when I first started to shuffle, I actually was always drawn, I'd get this little tingly feeling at the bottom of my fingers. So I knew that the card was at the bottom of the deck, and that was my card for me for that day. I've noticed also sometimes when I'm shuffling that, let's see if we can get that to happen. Other times it's like one card will really stick out from the rest. It might be like, so we might have, oh, let me go a bit closer so you can see. So I'm shuffling, okay, and then as I'm shuffling, I might actually have one card that is sort of standing out from the rest of them. Maybe it's higher in the shuffle. Let me see if I can. So there's this one here that's just about to fall out of the deck. So I know that that's my card. Okay. Oh. Another way that you might actually be able to recognize what's your card is a jumping card. And what that means is when you're shuffling, so it doesn't always happen. Well, it does happen to me pretty regularly, but who knows if it will happen now, is it actually flies out of the deck and takes off. So it might, you know, zoom out and go onto the floor or onto the carpet. So that if that happens, it's called a jumping card, and that's definitely your card for the reading as well. So there's actually another way that you might, so when you first get your cards, have a play around with how you draw your cards. Another way that people do is they split the cards into two as well, and then they might pick a card from the top of each. I've even had people have split the cards into 3 piles, 1, 2, 3 piles, and then they choose a pile, and it's the card from the top of the pile that they've chosen. So that's, yeah, there's lots of different ways of how you can actually choose the card. Another one is also that's fairly popular is where once you're finished shuffling and you feel like, okay, I've done with the shuffling, you then fan the cards out and yourself or your client can pick a card wherever they feel inclined as well. So there's lots of different ways of using the cards to choose which card is for you. And so I highly recommend that you just have a play. Like, the oracle cards are so much fun. I love doing oracle cards readings and seeing what's coming up and how it's relating. You know, a really popular one is just by doing a daily card, and that's where you just shuffle, asking for a card or some help for that day, and then you're able to actually get the book out and read the message in the book as well. So as I was saying, just have a play and see which way you're drawn. By trialing all these different ways of choosing a card, you'll really feel which one feels good for you and which one is like, oh no, I don't like that one. So just try a whole range of different ones as well. Another one that I came across recently was she would say she's going to choose 3 cards, but she's going to choose every 4th card. So she would be going, all right, so this is every 4th card, right? So this is card 1, so that's not in her pile. Card 2, card 3, card 4, right? So I keep that one. I put that in my separate pile. Now I've got 1 card. I still got to get another 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I've got 2 cards. 1, 2, 3, and then my last card. Okay, and then you have your cards as well. So that. How I just did it then by counting the cards, setting at the beginning what number card you're going to pull out. That's another way. I haven't seen that technique used before, so I've been having a little play and a little trial with that. So I highly recommend to everyone to really have a play, really enjoy what you're doing. See it as a bit of fun. Don't take it too seriously, and really, you know, just go with the flow of doing the cards. Now, the next thing to do to help you is once you've got your card, you can then just, you know, go and get the book and have a read in the book and see what the message is and how it relates. But there's actually other ways that you sort of also can start looking at how to read the card. So, for example, with myself, when I get a card, I actually notice what your eyes are drawn to. So in this image, what particular thing are you really drawn to? So you might be drawn, so for me, I'm actually drawn to her angel wings, whereas you might be drawn to the watering can or some of the plants. So it's like, really look at the card, notice where your eyes go to, what part of the image are they drawn to as well. And then just notice what feelings or emotions or what words come up into your mind when you're looking at that image, okay? Another thing to do is colours. Colours have meanings. So if you actually look into the background of this picture, let me have a look. Okay, so the background is like a yellow, a lemon yellow sort of colour. And so that's all about positivity. Like if you think of the sun, so colours often relate to images that you know. And you'll be surprised how much you know. So the yellow really relates to the sun and positivity and happiness and feelings as well. So, and then if you have a look to the front, the lady, the angel, is actually in a white dress. So, and being an angel, we know that white is pure, you know, pure and divine and divinity and of the highest good. Okay, so it's really, you know, when you first start, before you pick up the book, see where your eyes are drawn, and then look at the colours that are in the image and what you already know about colours and their meaning as well. Okay, so oracle cards, you can just have so much fun with them. You can also, besides doing the one card, the one daily card, you can also do another reading, which I love to do, and it's where you draw 3 cards, and it's a past, present, and future. So when I pick up my cards, I just ask for my guides to help me choose 3 cards. So I might say, can my guides please help me for my highest and greatest good, 3 cards for my past, present, and future. All right, and then I start with saying the word past. So I know that I'm shuffling to choose a card for the past. Okay, so I had one falling out there. So I've got the one for the past. Okay, now I'm after one for the present. Oh, and I had a whole stack fall out. But once I had a whole pile all together, and then I have one that's jumped and landed in my lap. So that's going to be my present. Okay, and then now I'm shuffling for the future. All right, again, I'm shuffling. Okay, this one, it was stuck to my thumb and then I ignored it. So he's sort of poked out at the side. So here's my future. All right, so let's do a little bit of a look and see. So the first card is Clear Conscience. And you can actually see, you know, there's lots of golden, there's like a rainbow and the white light. So golden is, you know, if you think of gold money and rich and abundance, and also the Christ consciousness energy is golden as well. It's actually a mountain that they're on. I thought for a minute it might have been a pyramid. So this one is, and you can actually see the sun. The sunlight is shining down on the person. So this one is really telling me that, well, I'm hearing the word victory, that you're on the right path, you're following my guide's directions. You know, the light is really shining on me, that I'm in a good space, mindset, mentally, physically, spiritually, that you're really moving forward on my yellow brick road, my life purpose and my life path, and things are going really well. Now, if I just, excuse me, I just put my glasses on, and it actually says to pay attention to thoughts that come to you because they're unanswered prayers. And also it might be like inspiration. And yes, that has been happening as well. I do get lots of inspiration and ideas that come to me, and then I take note and start applying those, taking action with those. Okay, and then the next card, what does it say? Hello from heaven. And so you can look at the colour at the back, the blue, all that beautiful tones of blue. So blue is your throat chakra, but also blue represents communication. All right, let me have a bit better look with my glasses on. And you can see, you know, that her wings are expanded. She's actually got a little, down here, she's got like a torch, like a shining light. And she's also, again, she's got one hand raised to the gods. It's like she's really communicating. She's communicating to her loved ones up in heaven, but also she's receiving messages. So messages are divinely timing. They're coming down. You're connecting with your loved ones. And the torch is representing like holding that light. The light is glowing. Your time is coming. You're starting to shine and get your word out there as well. Okay, and then the last one is nurture. And again, you can see, I'm just having a little look. Oh. So this one is they're all angels, and you can see again the light that is shining on them. So it's like, you know, the divine and Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Mother Teresa, for me, they're all some of my guides, are really shining their light. They're really nurturing and supporting and loving me. But also the baby is birthing. So it doesn't necessarily mean that a baby's coming into my life, although I do have a couple of grandsons coming. A baby represents birthing. So you're birthing some new idea or some new gift into the world. And that's definitely happening for me. I'm really expanding my business as well. So yeah, and look at the love and the tenderness and the support that the angels are all giving to the baby as well. So this is like another message. And the purple that they're all got on says purple is your spirituality, divine, higher messages as well. So, and then right at the top, you can see the blue. it's sort of like the purpley merging into the blue. So it's like, you know, the messages are coming from the heaven, they're coming from the gods, you know, and you're being supported and nurtured and encouraged, and we've got your back. Okay, so that's a lovely message. All right, so I hope that I've given you some help with how to set your oracle cards up and how to start working with them. And remember, you know, you can always call on your book, go back to the book and read the message, and then just whatever message comes through in the book, in the words, just take a moment and think about, you know, how does that resonate with you? Come back to your heart center. Does that feel true for you? But then over time, you might want to start doing how I said about see where your eye is drawn to and start looking at the colours as well. And I'll do another video explaining the meaning of the cards as well, the meaning of the colours, I mean, as well. So that will help you with really building up your understanding and ability to be able to work with the oracle cards and getting meaning out of them without using the book. But the book's fabulous to start with. So everyone, just have fun with the cards. There are so many oracle card decks out there. Just head off to the shop and see which deck you're drawn to. So as you're looking along the shelf, you might be scanning along the shelf, and which one do your eyes focus on? And you, right, that's the one for me. And just, again, feeling in your heart, all right, does this one connect to my heart? And then if it does, that's the deck for you. And just starting from there, having fun, have a play, do some readings for yourself and your family members, and just, yeah, really enjoy yourself. And then you'll notice that the messages that are coming through are actually from your spirit guides. That's them starting to communicate with you, because at the moment they can't actually talk to you where you can hear them. So using the oracle cards is a great way for your guides to communicate with you and start to build up that communication bond. So from my past videos, I've said that your communication bond is a thin piece of string or ribbon. And so you want to, you start using the oracle cards and start talking to them throughout the day. You're really starting to grow your communication bond. You're really starting to expand that piece of string. So it's growing and getting thicker, and then eventually it will turn into like a plumbing pipe where it's hollow in the middle, and the messages can flow back and forward as well. So have fun, everybody. I love the oracle cards. I could easily just buy more and more and more. I think I probably have about 8 sets of cards. So yeah, just have fun and go from there. And there's so many different types out there. There's also the tarot cards. I personally don't use the tarot cards because I don't understand the meanings of them, but I'm always fascinated by them. Whereas for me personally, I find the oracle cards are just so much easier to use and to understand. And there's so many beautiful oracle card decks out there for you to connect with. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and feel free to like and to subscribe, to look at all my other videos about different topics, how to communicate with your guides, and lots more as well. Feel free to have a look at my website, leanneshegold.com. I'll put the link below. And also, if you would like my free ebook about how to start communicating with your guides in 5 different ways, click on the link below and you'll be able to get that as well. Okay, have a lovely day, everyone. Bye.